Something I've realized is that Muslims cannot see nuance at all. Their minds just work in a black and white way, and often because they can't see nuance, they completely miss the point being made, or they come to completely wrong conclusions. So my last video was a reaction to somebody saying that in Islam, men have to provide everything, meaning financially, that it's their responsibility alone, and women do not have to help or contribute at all. And that's fine. If that's what you want to believe, that's fine. But my point was, there's two ways of understanding that verse where Allah says men are, the protectors, qawwamun over women. And then after that, he says that women are devoutly obedient. Now, the two ways you can, understand that verse is either proscriptive or descriptive. You can look at it and say, oh, Allah is saying that men have to be the providers and women have to be obedient. Or you can look at it in a descriptive way, meaning, Allah is saying that men are the providers because in the past that's how the world was, and that women are obedient because, of course, if somebody's providing for you and you're dependent on them, there's going to be a level of authority between you and that person who is protecting you and providing for you. Now, the point made was about consistency. If you believe as a man that you want your wife to be obedient, then you have to be the provider, if you understand the verse in that way. Likewise, a woman, if she wants to be provided for, then she should accept that she needs to be obedient, that the obedience is also an obligation. If you're going to say the provision is an obligation, I don't look at the verse in that way. I look at it descriptively, as in Allah is saying that men have the capability to provide, therefore men are the providers, and therefore women are obedient. Now, that's not a very difficult concept to understand. I'm not saying I'm right, you could be right, but that was the point I was making. Instead of people understanding the point that was being made, it just made everyone go into this defensive mode and it created another gender war. And I swear to God, we need to come out of this mentality. So all the sisters are coming out saying, oh, what do you mean we have to do this and we have to do that? We already give birth and we look after the kid. We don't have to obey men. We have to obey Allah. That's fine. Look, you can believe whatever you want. And men are coming and saying, oh no, you guys need to be obedient. That wasn't the point of the video. The point of the video was consistency. You can believe whatever you want. But if you believe men have to provide, as a woman, you should be obedient too. And as a man, if you believe women should be obedient, then you should believe that men have to provide. Now, like I said, my personal take is that relationships are not about transactions. There was a time when they were quite transactionary, but they're not anymore. Not in the West, not in the society that we live in now. Relationships now should be based upon mutual love, mutual respect, and mutual cooperation. Each situation, each marriage is different. And, the couples should decide within themselves what the best way to run that household is. Whether it's the man works and the woman looks after the home, or it's they both work and look after the home together. They share responsibilities. And some situation, the woman might be the main breadwinner. We forget that Khadija radiallahu anha was the main breadwinner in the marriage between her and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there's no ego there. There's no ego on either side. And at the same time, even though she was the main breadwinner, there was still obedience to the husband because that was the culture back then. Anyway, that's the way I see it.